What's going on, cunts? We're back again for another live. We're doing disruptor again. Excuse me. Fucking hell, I'm tired. I'm already tired. So yeah, we're playing disruptor again with some retro achievements. Trying to get 100%. So probably going to be a little bit of a tricky one there. But yeah. Well, why have it so the FMV cutscenes are a little bit louder?
Stormer has demonstrated a natural ability to harness the fundamentals of its power.
See how this works.
I don't know what's in that orb, little brother, but orders came in that its retrieval is to remain top secret.
My lips are sealed, but I tell you one thing, it did wonders for my psionics. You know, if Dad had one of those orbs, I bet he'd still be with us today.
I'd like that. But with great men like President Krieger, we can help carry on a Lightstormer tradition. Now, we've got a problem down in Antarctica. I hope you brought your mittens.
Don't I ever get any R&R?
What do you call those 3 days you just had in the hospital?
You call healing from a psionic implant a vacation? You're sicker than I thought.
Sir, vacation authorization comes directly from the president.
You know, my head feels like it's reaching critical mass. What was that thing?
It's something you're gonna need down there in the snow. Do you remember those mutants you discovered on Triton? Those genius scientists brought healing down on the station.
Don't tell me. They got a little frisky.
Our reports show that some of them have mastered the cyclone. Hopefully they're all popsicles by now. We need you to get down there and retrieve the genetic data bank. Is that understood? Sergeant.
Sergeant?
Alright.
You're going to encounter some pretty tough resistance. The exit's on the top floor of the lab, but don't forget, the success of this mission depends on your retrieving the data bank.
What's going on, Nine-Tail Gaming? How are you, my friend? Alright. God. I'm already probably gonna die. Jesus. I'm probably going to be smart maybe and do it like that so I don't lose any more health. Alright. Alright. What are you playing? I am playing a game called Disruptor. It's a First-person shooter developed by Insomniac Games. These are the people who created Spyro. So this is actually Insomniac's first ever game before they made Spyro. So anyway, I'm thinking of my next plan of action. Alright, what's my next plan? Always found this level to be difficult. Alright, here we go. Where did you come? Alright. Alright. Looks like Doom, plays like Doom, but it's not Doom. Think of it as, you could probably say Doom that's on a little bit of juice. That's the best way to describe it. There we go. What's going on, Mr. Kite? I think we might need to do a little bit more strategic thinking here. All right. All right. God. Jesus. So we're up to that part now. It's my first time a streamer talking to me. Hey, welcome to the club, buddy. I try and comment and talk to as many people as I can. I do apologize if it feels like I ignore you. I don't intend for it. It's just that I tend to focus more on the game so I don't accidentally die and lose heaps of progress and stuff like that. Feel free to have a chat. Eventually some more people will try and come in, and then, we can interact with them. How's the day going anyway, buddy? Alright, now this is where a little bit of a harder part comes in. Right. Oh yeah, we got some more health. Alright, I'll take that. That's okay. That's good to hear. Glad that you're doing well, my friend. Oh, boy. Where'd he go? Jesus. So you're trying to ambush me, are you? Okay. I'll collect that health that I had from before. Nice. Excellent. I'll take that as well. I'll take those two. Oh, I could have saved that. Oh well. There's no escape from that area once I get to that other part anyway. Alright. Let's do it. As long as we can get past the past the checkpoint. I'm playing on I'm playing on PC, funnily enough, but through a PS1 emulator called DuckStation. And also I'm playing with something called RetroAchievements. So it allows you to do Xbox style achievements, and you can grab points and stuff like that. And you do lots of pretty cool things actually. Score points on your profile, and it's like sort of Xbox trophies, Xbox achievements and PlayStation trophies in a way. So, and I've only just discovered it, and I'm actually quite excited for it. That'll do. Alright, I guess we're past the point of no return now, so we've killed every enemy here, which is good. Now it's time for the hard part. So we've got the continue point reached, which is good. Damn on PS, nice. Alright, oh god, I've got limited weapons. Very limited weapons. Oh, Jesus. Alright, I think that's it. Yep, that's it. But I've been a bit of a drongo and I've wasted half of my bloody ammunition on needless shit. Alright, here's the hard part. Oh, that's double kill. Okay, that's some more. Alright. That's what we need. Alright, I think we're doing pretty well on this. I've just drained half my fucking health though. That's not good. Oh, we got some AM blasters though. Okay. Alright, so we've got some more health, that's alright. Just gonna make sure that we've collected a few other things. Yeah, looks alright. I think I did see another health canister. Potentially, did I see it outside? No. Did I see one from over here? Oh no. Okay, alright. Now we're like critically low on health. Fuck. Huh. Oh, do I want to attempt to... Oh. Oh, alright. You dead? Alright. Hey, Dave. You on Steam? A little bit, not quite though. I've got a couple of games on Steam, but... Thank God. That this room is one big giant booby trap. I can tell you that. I thought I needed only 20 to trigger the thing, but I guess you need more than 20. I think you need 30, eh? Oh, okay. People's internet been cutting out, have they? Fair enough. I've been curious about that myself because my stream decided to die on me last night as I was halfway through. Oh, come on. Fuck off. Alright. Oh. Actually. Oh. Seriously? I'm probably gonna die now. Probably am going to die. Oh, guitar, hey, nice. Oh. 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 Right. Shit. Oh. Fuck. Oh, so close. Man. So close. Alright, what are we going to do?
You're going to encounter some pretty tough resistance. The exit's on the top floor of the lab, but don't forget, the success of this mission depends on your retrieving the data bank.
God. That was a fail. Oh, Jesus. You being a good boy again? Not sure, Dave. What do you count as a good boy? Oh, why am I wasting my... Oh, this is going to be like a loss, boys. I think I'm going to have to... start this again. Oh, maybe not. Just don't want to have to start the whole level all over again, you know what I mean? Yeah, true. Yeah, I've been a good boy. I was at Grandma's today. Yeah. Did talk to the fruit. Did talk to the fruit boss. Could be okay. 78% health. Got one more electric shield thing to use. Ah. Oh, okay. Do you have Vegas Infinite Poker Stars? No, I haven't. Okay. Doing better than what we did before. Better than what we did before. Hopefully we don't jinx it. No, that's a little tip. So you move with the because okay. Nice. Got some more psionics as well. That's what we need. Oh, more health. That's good. Right. When I was in Vegas Infinite, I went all in and lost. Oof. Damn. How much you go all in for? Alright, this is the... Do not die. Oh, okay. Alright.
Genetic data bank retrieved.
Awesome. We're in, boys. We got this locked in the bag. We got this locked in the bag, boys. Yeah, it is weird, eh? I don't know what's going on. This is locked in the bag, boys. We can do it. Oh. God, stop it. Yay! Chili roof jumping. Nice. Alright, this is it. This is it. Oh, fuck this, I'm going. Fuck.
Mission complete.
That's fine. That's fine. We're done. Done. Thank God. It was probably one of the harder levels.
Nothing beats a hot meal after playing in the snow.
This might. Here, you're gonna need it. We're shipping you to the moon bio.
I heard it's got a great view of Jupiter.
Well, not where you're going. It seems that a few greedy members of the Jovian clan family have decided to take control of the sulfurate mines.
Why don't we just vaporize the whole moon?
Then where would we get the sulfurane to produce the antimatter for our weapons?
Got a good point.
Don't forget to send me a postcard. This mine is a lot bigger than you think, and it's chock full of scumbags who don't take prisoners. Remember your survival training. Look for supplies, and you might luck out.
This is the end. Oh yeah, we're not far from the end, my friend. We're not far. Yep, here we go. It's probably another one that we're just gonna have to speed run, to be honest. Oh, sort of. Yeah.
This mine is a lot bigger than you think, and it's chock full
Do
of scumbags
elevators
who don't
always
take
go
prisoners.
down?
Remember
No,
your
that's not
survival
true.
training.
Elevators
Look
can
for
go up
supplies,
as
and you
well.
might luck out.
This is actually a personal favourite level of mine. Because for the longest time I was actually missing one secret in this game. And after years of playing it, I finally found it. And I was in shock. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. So I don't mind this weapon. The thing about this weapon is that you gotta move around a lot. Just like that, like this level is just... Maybe we need to just stop it here for now. I reckon it's just gonna be maybe a one level a day type of thing, because I spent so much energy on that level. I think, you know, it's just, yeah, I reckon. We'll stop it there. We're not going to end stream, we're just going to watch some videos on YouTube again like we did last time. See what else there is. Want to watch another pen and coke video? I reckon we should.
Hey guys, it's me, Pan and Coic 2012, bringing you Dutch pancakes since 2010. But seriously, when I first started making videos, I showed how to collect 255 coins in all the courses where it was possible to do so. And ever since then, I've received the same questions over and over.
Alien crap
Why
with
do I
corn
start
is
at
crazy.
255 coins? Can you collect more than 255?
Oh,
What would happen
yeah.
if you collected more than 255? So, let's answer these questions once and for all. Now, under normal circumstances,
Alright, let's earn a
you never have to
PhD in
worry
Mario
about coin limits.
64.
After all, the courses are all supposed to have a finite amount of coins. But as you probably know, there are infinite coin glitches. So, what does happen when you try to collect infinite coins? Well, the coin counter will keep track of your coins just as it normally would. Even at 255, it keeps going. Let me repeat that. While you're collecting the coins, the coin counter will neither stop at nor reset at 255 coins. It will just keep counting as if 255 was a regular number. You won't notice anything special at this point. Eventually, you'll reach 999 coins, and it's at this number that the counter stops increasing. Mario can certainly collect more coins at this point, but they won't influence the coin counter at all. And trust me, the coins aren't secretly counting higher while the counter is just stuck at 999. The coins literally do nothing. So the coin counter within the course is pretty simple. It counts to 999 and then stops. However, the coin score that actually gets saved is an entirely different matter, and somewhat of a more complicated one to discuss. But hey, that's what we're here to do. Anyway, once Mario collects a star, he will exit the course, and then the coin counter will count all the way up to the score Mario just got within the course, so somewhere between 0 and 999. Mario receives an extra life at 50, 100, and 150 coins, but at no other increment of 50. So I guess the programmers never expected anyone to get more than 200 coins. Right now, I have to wait all the way for the counter to get to 999. Anyway, the game will compare the coin score you just got to the coin score you already have saved for that course. If the coin score you just got is higher, then it will overwrite your coin score for that course with a new coin score. However, the coin score that gets saved is not necessarily the coin score you just collected. This is where the 255 coin limit comes into play, and where a lot of the confusion comes from. You see, we can calculate the coin score that gets saved using the coin score that you got within the course. Simply take the coin score you got within the course and modulo by 256, and that will give you the coin score that gets saved. If you're unfamiliar with the modulo operation, you can think about it like this. Take the coin score you got within the course and divide by 256. This will give you a quotient and a remainder, and it's this remainder that gets saved. So for our example, we collected 999 within the course. When you divide by 256, that gives you 3, remainder 231. And it's 231 that gets saved, since that's the remainder when you divide by 256. If we check our coin records, we can see that yes, 231 was in fact saved after we collected 999 coins. Here's a little table I made to help simplify this information. I couldn't show the whole table because it was too big, but here's the most important parts of it. As you can see, there are 1,000 possible coin scores you can get within the course, from 0 to 999, but there are only 256 possible coin scores that can be saved, from 0 to 255. So naturally, multiple coin scores within the course save to the same value, and that's illustrated in this table. For example, a coin score of 0, 256, 512, and 768 all save as 0. A coin score of 231, 487, 743,
I'm lucky that I
and
understand all this shit.
999 all save as 231.
Because to be
And a coin
honest,
score of
if
259,
people watch this,
511, and 767
they probably wouldn't
all
understand
save
it.
as 255. So now you can see why people like me tend to stop at 255 coins. Out of all the possible values that can be saved, 255 is the maximum, and so that's what we want to be saved into our coin records. That means we either have to collect 255, 511, or 767
Is that Skittles?
coins.
No.
And out of these three values,
Just trail
255
mix.
comes first, so it requires the least amount of effort to get to. And so that's why people stop at 255 coins. One more point I want to stress is that you can actually lower your saved coin score for a course. See, right now I have a record of 231 for Snowman's Land. If I go in, collect 256 coins, and then collect a star, what happens? Well, it compares my record of 256 from within the course to my saved record of 231. Since 256 is greater than 231, it'll save a new coin score using the 256. But remember, 256 will save a 0, and so ultimately, it lowers my score from 231 to 0. If I go in and collect 256 coins again, then it will once again be a new record, even though I collected
I'm
the
going to
exact
play
same amount of coins
Guitar
before,
Hero.
which is because it's comparing the 256 with the 0.
I'm going to play Greatest
Since
Hits on Guitar
256 is
Hero.
higher,
Okay.
it counts as a new record, and so it overwrites my old
I
score.
wish I had a
0
Guitar
with
Hero,
new
I think.
0. Using this technique, you can achieve any coin record you want between 0 and 255, so long as that course has an infinite coin glitch. Since I have a record of 0 for this course now, it looks like I've never even collected a coin here, despite that I have the 100 coin star. So at this point, I've explained exactly how the coin limits work, but I have yet to explain why the coin limits are there. As we've learned, there are two coin limits. There's the 999 coin limit within the course, and the 255 coin limit in the savable records. But why are these coin limits there? Well, the 999 coin limit was put in intentionally by the programmers as a way to cap off the number of coins Mario can collect. Somewhere in the game, there's a line of code like this. If the number of coins exceeds 999, then set the number of coins back equal to 999. So how does this work in practice? Well, let's say Mario has 997 coins and is about to collect a blue coin. Once he collects it, he'll have 1,002 coins. So if we look at the code, 1,002 is greater than 999, so that becomes true. Therefore, this statement occurs, and the number of coins is set equal to 999. Now, all of this is done in less than a frame, so you'd never actually see the intermediate value of 1,002. It would go straight from 997 to 999. And of course, if you collected any more coins at this point, the same thing would happen. The counter would go past 999 and then back to 999. So for us, it would just look like it stays at 999. The 255 coin limit, on the other hand, was done unintentionally by the programmers. It's merely a result of how the coin records are stored in memory using bits. To understand the 255 coin limit, we need to understand the binary system, which is what the game uses, whereas we're probably more accustomed to the decimal system. The binary system is base 2, which means it uses zeros and ones to represent numbers. The decimal system is base 10, which means it uses the digits 0 through 9 to represent numbers. To better understand how the binary system works, let's first review how the decimal system works. Here is a typical decimal number. Each digit represents a different number of tens. So we have the units digit, the tens digit, the hundreds digit, the thousands digit, and the 10,000s digit. To compute the value of this number, we multiply each digit by how much that digit is worth. And when we sum these together, we get 28,341. This seems kind of redundant because we're analyzing the decimal system using the decimal system, but it will make more sense when we analyze the binary system. So here is a typical binary number. Note that its digits comprise of only zeros and ones. So instead of calling them digits, we actually call them bits. Each bit stands for a different number of twos, just like before, except instead of tens, now it's twos. So the bits represent 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128 respectively.
Binary is the part that literally just does my head in.
How much that bit is worth.
I still can't quite do the binary.
So this is the binary representation of the number 229. Now we can talk about the coin scores. The coin score within the course is represented by 16 bits. whereas the coin score that gets saved is only represented by 8 bits. This means that the coin score within the course has the capacity to hold up to 65,535, even though we know that in practice it will only ever go up to 999. The coin score that gets saved, however, can only hold up to 255. That's why the 255 coin limit.
Yeah, Guitar
Using
Hero was
only 8
popular.
bits, 255
I
is
played
the
it a little
maximum number
bit,
you
but
can produce. That's why it's impossible to save a score that's higher
I
than
remember when
255. Let's look at an
arcades
example.
used to
Let's say
have
you
the
collect 100 coins within the course.
arcade
This is
version
how
of
it would
Guitar
be
Hero,
represented using the 16
and then
bits.
some little cunt would
Now,
break
let's say
the
you go to
guitar,
save
and
it.
then you
You
couldn't play
can't
the
save 16 bits
Guitar Hero
using only
anymore.
8 bits. Some information is going to be lost. So what does it do? It takes the lower 8 bits and saves that. So in this case, you had 100 coins within the course, and that's saved as 100 coins. So that seems to make sense. But now let's take a look at a bigger number. Now, let's say you collected 999 coins. This is how it would be represented using the 16 bits. Notice that this time, the 999 is so big that it uses bits besides the lower 8 bits. It has 2 ones in the upper 8 bits. So when this number goes to save, it takes the lower 8 bits and saves those. Notice that some information was lost. We didn't store the 999 because it used more than 8 bits. Instead, we only stored its lower 8 bits, which is actually the number 231. So that's why different numbers can be saved than you collected within the
There's
course.
still one in
If you collect a number
Balcony.
that uses more than the lower 8 bits, as in a number that's 256 or greater, then some of it will be lost when you go to save it. Because when you save a number, it only takes the lower 8 bits, and that might not be the entire number. And of course, this process of taking only the lower 8 bits is synonymous with performing modulo 256, as discussed earlier. This explains why different coin values within the course all save as the same value. Here, we can see 4 distinct coin values, 0, 256, 512, and 768. Notice that they all differ in their upper 8 bits, but their lower 8 bits are the same. So, when we go to save these values, they all save as the same value, since their lower 8 bits match. So by now, I've answered all of your questions concerning the coin limits. But now I have a question. You see, in my videos, I've always collected the maximum coin scores that could be saved. But this begs the question, what would be the maximum coin scores within the courses? Under this condition, we would no longer be bound by 255, so instead we would aim for 999. But can this be achieved? Well, let's walk through the courses. For Bob on Battlefield, you might think that the best way would be to collect as many coin clones as you could. The thing about coin clones, though, is that each one takes up a slot in memory, and we only have 240 slots to work with. So, long before you reach to 999 coins, you would run out of slots, and the game would freeze. Lucky for us, there's a second infinite coin glitch in this course, the breaking/disappearing cork box glitch. If we break a cork box right as it disappears, then we get its 3 coins and the box is back. With this technique, there's no entropy. There's nothing left over each time that would build up, like the coin clones. So this method is completely renewable. Consequently, we can just keep doing this until we reach 999 coins. And therefore, 999 is the maximum we can collect within Bob on Battlefield. For Worm's Fortress, we can use the same strategy. Just keep breaking the cork box until we have 999
Yeah, they
coins.
were.
You don't even need to collect any other coins on the course.
Things like
Then we
Video
get courses
Easy
without
and
infinite coin
fucking
glitches. For Jolly Roger Bay, the limit is just
Blockbuster
104,
and
since that's how many
fucking
coins there are in the course naturally. There's no infinite coin glitches here to make more. And no, you cannot use the shell to clone coins. You can bring a shell out of water, but it's still real. It won't turn into other objects, and there's no loading points in Jolly Roger Bay to go through, so you cannot use the shell to surpass 104. Similarly, for Cool Cool Mountain, the most we can get is 154, since there's no infinite coin glitches here either. Same thing for Big Boo's Haunt. No infinite coin glitch, so we're bound to 151. Just make sure you don't pick the first star, otherwise you won't have access to the boost in the merry-go-round. Now, I know that I showed it was possible to clone a coin in this course, but we can't actually use that to get infinite coins. there are two problems. First, the crazy box doesn't respond, so unlike the cork boxes or bombs, we can't use it over and over. At best, we can only get one clone out of it. And secondly, there are no good coins to clone in this course. Ideally, we want a line or ring of coins, but in this course, all we have are enemy coins. Here, I'll demonstrate the difference between the two scenarios. When Mario clones a coin from a ring or line, he can collect the clone, and then he can leave and come back, and all of those coins will regenerate, so he can collect all those. So essentially, he's collecting an extra coin. In the second scenario, Mario clones a coin from an enemy, but notice that this time, the coins from the enemy don't regenerate from leaving and coming back. They only load once when the enemy dies. And so, essentially, Mario's just collecting one of those coins in a different location, rather than collecting an extra coin. As you can see, Mario collected 4 coins in the former scenario, but only 3 coins in the latter. So this doesn't get any extra coins. In fact, we're actually losing 5 coins since we never actually explode the crazy box.
Yeah,
In case you
return the
can see,
movies,
there are
yeah.
also no infinite coin glitches, so we're stuck at 139. I tried to find an infinite coin glitch using the swoopers, but it didn't really pan out. Get it? Panicoic? Let's just go to the next course. And finally, for Lethal Lava Land, there are no.
I remember years ago when I was a kid, our local server actually had a fucking
do it all over again.
video rental
For
thing.
Shifting Sandland, we can get to 999 just by using the cork box glitch again.
That's when I
like we did
discovered
for
Jackass.
Battlefield and Lost Fortress. Pretty standard. We don't even need to enter the pyramid. For Dire Dots, our only infinite coin method is cloning.
Fuck, I love
But here
Jackass.
we actually can get to 999 coins doing it. You see, when we go through the loading point, the clones disappear, and though they won't build up like they would in Bomb Battlefield. So, using cloning, we actually can get all the way up to 999 coins. For Snowman's Land, we can just duplicate money bags and kill them off periodically until we get up to 999 coins. Just don't make too many money bags at once or weird things can happen. Like look, now everyone's shadow is a white square that's in front of everything else. That doesn't make any sense. And we lost the HUD, and what was that blue thing? Oh great, and now the game froze. I still want to know what that blue thing was though. For Wet Dry World, we can get to 999 coins the same way we did in Dire Dots. The loading point causes the clones to disappear, so we can just keep cloning over and over until we get to 999. For Tall Mountain, our only infinite coin method is cloning, and so the clones will build up. But there's a solution. Before the game freezes, we just need to enter the slide, and when we come out, all the clones will be gone. Essentially, the course just resets, and so using this method, we can make as many clones as we want and get all the way to 999 coins. And then for Tiny Huge Island, we can just perform the Piranha Plant glitch infinite times. Nothing builds up each time, so there's no problem getting to 999 coins. And now for the final 2 courses. This is where things get interesting. Up until now, the maximum coin scores within the courses have all been pretty simple. Either they were the regular coin limits when there were no infinite coin glitches, or they were 999 when there were infinite coin glitches, since we could use those infinite coin glitches an unlimited number of times. But not here. These last 2 courses both have an infinite coin glitch, namely coin cloning, but there's no way to avoid the buildup of clones. There's no cork box, so that we can use that method instead. There's no loading points to unload the clones, and there's no slide to reset the course. So for these last 2 courses, we'll be able to use cloning to get past their normal coin limits, but not all the way up to 999. Instead, we'll end up
Jackass 5,
seem like
king.
a completely arbitrary number. But it will in
Fucking
fact be the maximum coin score within the course. So, let's get to it. Our goal is to fit as many coin clones as possible.
I remember I
Since each
saw
clone
Jackass
takes up a
1.
slot in memory, we're going to want to free up as many slots as we can. So in addition to collecting all
Then
the coins on the
Dad
course,
bought
we're
me
also going to
the
collect all of the one-ups.
disc
Each
set,
one-up
the ones
occupies a
with
slot.
like
So by collecting it, we're freeing
the
up a slot for
fucking
another coin clone. Technically, we don't actually
Jackass
select the
1.1,
one-up. We just need to
1.2,
unload it.
1.3
So
and the
for one-up
bonus.
set up here and then run
Set.
away from Mario, we can just
And
let
then
those
years
disappear,
later,
since that will unload them.
we
But for
found
one-up sets, sit there
Jackass, the
on
lost
course, and the
videos,
ones that home in on Mario, we
which
need
was
to collect
like
those,
a,
since those never disappear. I've also collected the
it's
100
like
coin stars
ones
because
that
counts
weren't
as
for
an
the
object.
public or
So
something,
at
or
this
ones that
point,
they
all
lost
that's
at
left are
first.
these 5 coins. These are actually
And
the
we're
only
just
clonable
like, fuck,
coins in the
alright.
entire course. I mean, technically you could.
And then we
coins
saw
from
Jackass
any
2,
block,
then we
but
got
as I
Jackass
mentioned earlier,
3D,
it won't actually
and
benefit you at all.
fucking
Anyway, right now
Jackass
it's on the
Forever.
bottom, and I brought it all the way to this cage. Why? Well, you'll find out in 155 coins from now.
And
It'll
I
all
saw
come
his
together.
video
But
where
right
he
now,
did
we can
the
start cloning coins.
YouTube
Yay!
thing.
So as we're cloning,
His
each clone
YouTube
will occupy a
Jackass
slot
series.
in memory that can no longer be used. You may have noticed that I
I've
have the
seen the
object counter
Netflix
displayed,
ones.
which will help explain what's going on. You can see that it's steadily increasing as I clone the coins. Before, I mentioned that there are 240 slots.
Too
in all,
many
but
fucking
it's actually a
Jackass
little more
videos.
complicated than that. For some reason, each course seems to have its own unique upper bound on how many slots can be used. For TikTok Clock, this number is 239. That means at most, we can fit 239 objects. If we try to load any more, the game would freeze, and so our goal is to fit as many clones as we can without going over 239. But as we get closer to the end, things are going to get more complicated and more difficult. We're going to have to be super precise in order to not freeze the game prematurely. So
Yeah,
at this
so
point, I'm actually
I remember
going to
that
collect
one.
4 of the 5 remaining coins on the course. Technically, we only need 1 coin to clone from, so we could have done this at any point. It's just that cloning from 1 coin is a lot more difficult than cloning from 5, so I prolonged it as long as I could. We're also about to face another problem. You see, up until now, I've been grabbing fake bombs by holding them over the edge, and then grabbing them when they explode naturally. But when bombs explode naturally, they produce a lot of smoke right at the end, and so the smoke and explosion together use 9 object slots. But if you look at the object counter, you can see that we only have 8 object slots left to work with. So from now on, we need to explode the bombs prematurely by throwing them, which only uses 4 object slots. But in order to not get hit by the bomb's explosion, we need to be uphill from it. Luckily, there's a little bump on this clock part that allows Mario to be slightly higher than the bomb. So using this technique, we can make a couple more clones until we don't even have 4 slots to work with. At this point, we only have 3 more slots, so we can't even grab a fake bomb by setting it off prematurely. I also have to be careful how I move around, because even a tiny bit of dust could freeze the game. The only way I can make another clone is by grabbing a fake bomb whose fuse never even went off. If only I had the foresight to position the bomb somewhere where I could pull off a tricky maneuver like that. Oh wait, I did! So, as I'm doing this, keep in mind that I can only grab a fake bomb if it explodes on a surface slower than Mario. Now watch. And there we go. Now we only have 2 slots left, and that is not enough to grab another fake bomb. So 279 is the maximum coin score within TikTok Clock. As a side note, there are actually 2 ways to unload a bomb using less than 3 slots. One way is to boil the bomb. So you might be wondering, why didn't I use this when I went for the maximum coin score in Bowser in the Fire Sea? You can grab the bomb while it's boiling, but you can't grab it fake. To grab it during that, I had to use a dive, but only grabs on land can be used to grab an object fake. Dives and water grabs just don't work. The second way to unload a bomb using less than 3 slots is at the death barrier. In a previous video, I showed that you actually can grab a fake bomb this way. However, you die immediately afterwards, so there'd be no way to clone a coin out of it. One more note is that you might be wondering why I didn't collect the last coin. After all, when we got to 279, there was still 1 coin left on the course.
Yeah,
Problem
definitely
is
would
that
be
if
an
you try
event,
to
hey?
collect it, the game freezes.
Marathon.
So you can't actually get it. It's kind of like a trap. If you get greedy and try to get the last coin, you can't finish the level. And then lastly, there's Rainbow Ride. Our strategy for this course will be just like the one we used for TikTok Clock. First, we'll sweep through the course and collect every coin, get everyone up, kill every enemy, and collect the 100 coin star. And don't worry about that extra information on the bottom right. It's a side effect of showing the object count. That information is actually debug information about Chuckya, so it'll go away as soon as we kill him. We also have to make sure to destroy this box. That counts as an object, and so we can fit an extra coin clone by getting rid of it. Now, an interesting thing about this course is that it has a cannon. Cannons count as 2 objects, There's the base, which is the blue part with the question marks, and the shaft, which is the black cylindrical part. But if the cannon hasn't been activated yet, then the cannon isn't there. All that's there is the cannon lid, which is one object. So actually, activating the cannon causes an additional object that we can never get rid of. So that means we can only get the maximum coin score here before we activate the cannon. If you've already activated it, then you can never get the coin score we're trying to get now. You'd always be at most 1 coin short. So that means that we can't use the cannon to get to the floating island. Instead, we have to use backward long jumping. But this is tool assisted, so that's not a problem. Note that we don't actually need to open item
Got a
blocks
good
that
influx
contain
of viewers at
stars,
the
like
moment.
the
We've
one on
got
the
6 so
island.
far.
Before we open an item block, the item block is one object. After we open it, the star is one object. So either way counts as one object. We'd have the same number of slots to use either way, unlike the cannon. So by this point, I've minimized the number of objects on the course, and I've collected every coin other than these 8, since these are the ones we'll use for cloning. But before we begin cloning, there's one more thing we need to do. I'll give you a hint. It involves cloning a Babam and placing it somewhere so we can pull off a tricky maneuver with it later. But that's all I'm going to say about it. I mean, you should know if you've been paying attention. And now we can begin the cloning of coins. Rainbow Ride can fit a maximum of 227 objects. So believe me, we need to clone a lot of coins. So during this time, let's talk about objects. There are actually 2 tiers of objects in Super Mario 64. There are important objects and unimportant objects. Basically, all of the objects are important except for the
Still
special
out here,
effects,
full on.
like the smoke
Yeah,
from a
yeah.
lava burn, the yellow stars from a ground pound, the proof from collecting a star, and the glow around the Koopa shell. So, what's the distinction between these 2 tiers? Well, let's say all the object slots are filled, and you try to load a new object. This new object could be important or unimportant, it doesn't matter. Now, instead of freezing, the game will first check if any of the objects already loaded are unimportant. If it finds one, then that unimportant object will give up its slot for the new object. And if there are no unimportant objects to replace, then the game freezes. This helps prevent the game from freezing, since it will only freeze if the slots are all filled with important objects. The wind on the ship actually counts as 30 unimportant objects that are constantly loading and unloading. So, once we have less than 30 slots left, the wind particles will duke it out for those remaining slots, replacing each other constantly. You'll be able to tell because there will be less wind at once, and the particles won't be around as long. But it's important that we have at least 1 slot for the wind particles to battle for. Otherwise, the game would freeze, since they have nowhere to load to. They need 1 just so that they can keep overriding that 1 slot. So now, I'm going to collect 7 of the 8 remaining coins. I actually can't wait any longer. Otherwise, the presence of the coins and the twinkle from collecting them would freeze the game. And now back to cloning, but only for a little bit, because like in Tick-Tock Clock, once we only have 8 slots left, we need to explode the Babam prematurely. I also want to do it where there's no wind, because the wind needs that 1 slot. So doing it in the presence of the wind would be like using 5 slots instead of 4. So to do this, I lure the Babam to the front of the ship, and then throw it like so. Using this, we can fit in a couple more clones. So at this point, I only have 4 slots left, and the premature Babam explosion uses 4 slots. So not only can there be no wind during the explosion, I also can't have that last coin loaded at that time. I just cloned the coin, so it's not there at the moment, but I have to be careful to let the Babam respawn without letting the coin respawn, and there's only a really small margin to do that. Now I can make 1 more coin clone, and there we go. Now I only have 3 slots left. Look at the wind. Only 3 wind particles can fit at once, and they don't last for very long because they keep getting replaced by newly loading wind particles. But anyway, now that I only have 3 slots left, I can go back to that Babam I placed earlier. I don't have to pull off nearly as tricky a stunt as I did last time, but still, I had to look all over this course to find a spot that would work for this. But now here's the catch. We can't actually get back to the ship, because that would involve going past the blue flame on that rotating platform. That blue flame uses 17 object slots, so that would freeze the game. Luckily, we don't need to go all the way back to the ship. This platform right here is close enough so that we can load the last coin from here. And there we go. We only have 2 slots left. So like I explained earlier, we can't grab any more fake bombs, and so we can't make any more clones.
Crazy ass
Therefore,
maps.
the maximum coin score we can get in Rainbow Ride is 290. Now watch Mario collect the star. There's no poof, and the star hardly has any twinkles behind it. That's how few object slots we have left. So there you go. That's the maximum coin score within each of the 15 courses. Here's a nifty little table I made that organizes all of this information. It shows the maximum coin score for every course, both the savable coin score and the coin score within the course. It's also color-coded by why that's the maximum. Well, that's everything I've ever wanted to tell you about the coin limits. So, thanks for watching.
I'm glad that he's doing commentator videos again.
So you may have noticed that whenever I cloned coins in Wet Dry World or Dire Dire Dots, I would always clone red coins, and maybe the occasional yellow
Hey
coin,
viewers,
but I
nice.
would never clone blue coins, which you would think would be the best. So, let's talk about that. But before we can get into the details of how the cloning works, we first need to understand how blue coins work in general. So this is what you're used to seeing. When Mario loads the area, all that's there is the blue coin block. Once Mario ground pounds the block, it disappears, and the blue coins appear. Then Mario can collect the blue coins. But if the timer runs out, then the blue coins disappear. So pretty simple, but it's not the whole story. To really understand what's going on, we need to go deeper. You see, normally we can't see the difference between an object that's unloaded and one that's loaded but invisible. So to distinguish between these two states, we'll now represent invisible objects with a dotted outline. This will help you see what's actually going on. Now back to the demo. Now you can see that before Mario ground pounds the blue coin block, the blue coins are already loaded, but invisible and intangible. You see, the blue coins don't load when you ground pound the block. They load when you go through the loading point, or into the course if there is no loading point. When you ground pound the block, then the blue coins turn visible, and the blue coin block turns invisible. Once again, Mario can collect the blue coins, and at the end of the timer, the blue coins and blue coin block unload. But now let's go even deeper. Now we're going to show each object's state and the signals they use to communicate. Here is a key. Signals will be green for loading and red for unloading. The state of the objects will represent whether that object still
Now I've got a
functions or
trail
not.
mix.
A green state means that the object will continue to load and unload as necessary. A red
Be the
state
next
means that it's
YouTube
done loading.
sensation.
Usually that has been used
Thanks.
already, so it can't be used anymore. So now back to the demo. When Mario goes through the loading point, the blue coins and the blue coin block are
One
loaded.
day.
If Mario ground pounds the block and collects the blue coins,
One day.
then the coins will unload, and you can see that their state is now red. If the timer runs out,
It's all
then the
right so
remaining
far.
blue coins and the blue coin block will unload. Alternatively, consider the case of when Mario collects all the blue coins. If all of the blue coins get collected, as in all of their states become red, then the timer will be cut short, and the blue coin block will disappear right away. So just to reiterate, blue coins will unload if the timer runs out, or if
Let's see,
the blue coin
cashews,
block will unload
chocolate
if the timer
coated
runs out, or if all
peanuts,
the blue coins are collected, as in all of their states are red.
fucking honey coated
So now we're ready to talk about cloning.
cashews,
Now,
I think,
normally when you
and
release a blue coin clone,
honey
it just
coated
disappears, and you don't collect
macadamia
it.
nuts.
Why is that? Well, let's look at the demo. In general, when you
And
release a clone, the clone takes on the
some
attributes of whatever you
pistachios.
cloned, such as whether it's visible and or tangible. You can see that the blue
Kinda
coins
healthy,
start off
yeah,
invisible
kinda
and
healthy,
intangible. So if we release the clone of one right
Probably
now,
not as healthy.
the clone will be invisible and intangible. That's why that's been happening, and that doesn't really help us at all. A better approach would be to first make the blue coins visible and then release the clone. So we just get some hands-free action going. That way we can hold on to the clone while we ground pound. Once we ground pound the blue coin block, we can release the clone and collect it. Notice that if I collect all the other blue coins as well, the timer doesn't stop. It keeps going until the end. So what's going on here? Well, let's go back to the demo and figure it out. Now, the thing about clones is that they don't send or receive signals. So, once we release the blue coin clone, Mario gets the 5 points for collecting it, but the game doesn't know that it's been collected. Look how its state is still green. Even if we collect all the other blue coins, the game doesn't think that they've all been collected, and so the timer doesn't stop short. The timer will continue the full length, and once it ends, the blue coin block will unload. Now look what's happened here. Because we cloned the blue coin, it surpassed the end of the timer. If we leave and come back, the blue coin will still be there, much the way a yellow or red coin comes back after cloning them. But unlike those coins, the blue coin starts off invisible and intangible. So although it's still there, we can't collect it any more times. The blue coin block is gone, and that was the only thing that gave us access to the blue coins. So long story short, when you clone a blue coin, you still have the blue coin, but you no longer have access to it. So now you might be wondering what happens if we clone the blue coin block. If we release the clone before we ground pound the block, nothing interesting really happens. The blue coins are still invisible, and we can't interact with the block clone anymore. The more interesting case is when we release the clone after ground pounding the block. When we do this, the timer sound actually stops, so I guess the block was responsible for making that sound. However, the timer itself is still going, and so the blue coins will disappear if we wait too long. So we might as well collect them. Afterwards, if we leave and come back, the blue coin block will still be there, since it never actually unloaded, but it won't actually do anything when we ground pound it. This all makes sense if we look at the demo. Here, we see Mario cloning the blue coin block. When he releases it, the clone will be invisible and intangible, since that's how the block currently is. If Mario collects the blue coins, then they will unload, and the timer will stop if he collects all of them. Under normal circumstances, collecting all the blue coins would unload the blue coin block. But remember, clones can't send out signals, and so the block remains functional with its green state. That means if we leave and come back, it will still be there. But once we ground pound it, it realizes that all the blue coins have already been collected, since they all have red states, which instantaneously unloads it. And so that explains what we saw earlier, is that you may remember my video where I talked about the yellow coin spawning point. In that video, I explained how if you clone the spawning point, then you can collect the yellow coins without the game realizing that you did, since their signals aren't received by the spawning point clone. Unfortunately, that situation is different from the one we have here, in that cloning the blue coin block doesn't allow us to collect the blue coins without it counting. The crucial difference is that the blue coin states are kept track of by the game, whereas the yellow coin states are kept track of on the coin spawner itself, which we could clone. So sadly, cloning the blue coin block doesn't help us gain any extra coins. The block itself surpasses the timer, but no blue coins do. So, long story short, when you clone the blue coin block, you'll still have access to blue coins, but there'll be no more blue coins left. So now we can see the problem. When we clone blue coins, the blue coin will still be there if we leave and come back, but we'll no longer have access to it since the blue coin block will be gone. And when we clone the blue coin block, we'll retain access to the blue coins since the block will still be there, but there'll be no more blue coins left. So it's a bit of a catch-22. Either we retain the coins or access to them, but not both. Ideally, we would need both in order to gain extra coins out of the process. If you notice, in both the blue coin clone and the block clone demos, we were only able to collect 20 coins, which is how many there were naturally. We didn't gain any extra coins out of it. So, is there any hope for getting more coins out of it? Well, I happen to have one more trick up my sleeve. And that's what happens when you leave the area during the timer. An easy way to test this is in Tiny Huge Island. Here, I ground pound the block and
Yeah, that's pretty
leave
good.
before the timer finishes. I also collected a coin just so we can see what happens for that too. When we go back in, the blue coin block is still there, and if we ground pound it, the coin we didn't collect is still there too. This makes sense if we look at the demo. Here we see Mario ground pound the block and then leave before the timer finishes. Any coins that weren't collected will still have their green state, so they'll be back again when we return, along with the blue coin block. Because of this trick, we actually could make blue coin clones profitable by doing the following procedure. We clone a blue coin, and after ground pounding the block, we collect the clone. Then, before the timer runs out, we exit the area. When we come back, everything will still be there, So we basically just got 5 extra coins. You can see that this allows us to get to 25 coins, which is more than there are naturally. So if we could pull off this maneuver, we could actually repeat it for infinite coins. But the question is, can we do it? Can we make it to the loading point before the timer runs out? Well, in Dire Dire Docks, I don't think it's possible. We can't even bring the blue coin clone over to the blue coin block. So we'll focus solely on Wet Dry World. The problem is that we need to get to the loading point before the timer runs out. And that doesn't leave us very much time, even if we play super well. We're going to need a better plan. One idea I had was to use a teleport clone. We can clone the teleport so that it brings us straight into the pipe. As you'll see, this allows us to get to the loading point in time, but there's a critical problem. If we use our one clone on the teleport, then we can't clone the blue coin. If we left and came back with a blue coin clone, then the teleport would just be back in its normal spot. So this idea is not going to work. My second idea was to maybe use Chuckya to get to the loading point faster, but there's a problem with this idea too. You can't lower Chuckya while you're still holding the blue coin clone, so this method won't work. My only other idea was to use speed to get there faster. We can't build up speed beforehand because it would all be canceled out by the ground pounds. We need to build up speed during the timer, and the express elevator is a good way to do this. But even if I backwards long jump into the pipe, the swimming still takes too long, and I don't get there in time. I also tried backwards long jumping to the loading point directly in the hopes of going through the walls, but it doesn't really work. I just get stuck in some sort of limbo world. Here, Mario can run as much as he wants in any direction, but according to his position variables, he's not actually getting anywhere, and the camera can't even find him. So I don't think that's what we want. So there you have it. Everything there is to know about blue coin cloning. Just to recap, cloning the blue coins or the blue coin block by themselves don't allow for productive coin collecting. The only possible way to make it advantageous would be to clone a blue coin and then leave the area before the timer runs out. But as we've seen, there just doesn't seem to be any way to do that fast enough. But hey, you never know. So, thanks for watching.
Where else would there be? I know. We'll continue on watching that Scottish cunt, where he tries to beat Granny Through Total 3 without dying. Yeah.
It's my case. Payday for Ray is just fine. There's nobody to kill. Just drive fast, beat the clock, and avoid making accidental pavement pizza. Now, silence the sneak. Once McCarthy's sentinel is a certain distance away from the witness protection house, the doors unlock. So I use my cheetah to scrape against the sentinel and break the doors off. By the way, you'll notice I got an insane stunt bonus right here. This game has a lot to answer for with regards to that moment during my Titan Thrice playthrough. Soon McCarthy ended up going down the hill and scraping against the wall. When I caught up with them, the driver made a U-turn, allowing me to jack the car, which made McCarthy himself do a runner. the cops were pretty useless, but eventually the cafe realised he had to have a bath. Time for arms shortage. There are quite a few enemies to kill during this mission. Most of them come through the front gate.
Have some
of them
Scottish
come from the
porridge.
back left corner.
Yeah.
So before they arrived, I used my cheetah to block that corner, and then used this mission's bulletproof barracks truck
How's it go?
to block the
What
gate.
weighs
And
more,
it just so
a
happens
kilogram
that
of
one the
feathers
enemies has
or a
Molotovs, so
kilogram
we
of
end up
steel?
having a case of friendly fire.
That's right,
Ha,
a
ha.
kilogram of
A
steel.
few seconds later, I reversed the truck,
both
and
the
the
same.
Molotov guy was still alive, which made the
But
cartel have an even bigger
A
barbecue.
kilogram of steel is more than a kilogram of feathers.
Just a few enemies left, but we were able to make short work of them. And when I say we, I mean Phil Cassidy and his fully automatic cheese grater. No killing necessary in the next mission, evidence dash. And I decided to destroy my car in the construction site, because that's where I can find a cartel cruiser, which I need for the next mission, Liberator.
There's an old ad
It's not
saying,
always unlocked,
that's
but
not
it was
how
on
you
this
make
occasion.
porridge in a Scottish
Right,
accent.
Liberator. The bulletproof
Yeah,
cheetah
nice.
will certainly come in handy for this mission. I left the cheetah on the route between my
I also
hideout
like the
and
Cockney
Last
accent.
Patriot. Then I made a quick on-foot trip back to my garage to pick up the cartel cruiser, which I
Not
need
really
to
got a
unlock the gate.
Cockney accent.
After going back and forth between
Neither
both
am I
vehicles,
good at the
because I didn't
Scottish
want it to get
accent
erased from
either.
the game's memory, I was soon able to use the cruiser to keep the gate open, allowing me to bring my cheetah inside. Now, the garages in here only open when you're on foot, which means I have to learn how it feels to be a piece of Swiss cheese. With the gentleman in my car, and after narrowly avoiding reversing into the cartel, we were in the clear. Next up, Wakagashira Wipeout. In this mission, we have to kill
No,
Kenji,
actually,
either
no,
by
we,
driving
I
a
don't,
cartel
unfortunately.
cruiser, or using a rocket launcher
I'm just
to
very
blast
good
the
at
floor underneath.
assimilating accents.
But we
That's
can't
all.
do either of those
Well,
things,
sort of.
remember? So what do we do?
I tend to,
Well, actually, it's not just about...
if I hang around
moving.
people long
It's
enough,
also about what this
I
guy
tend to
does.
develop.
During this mission,
their
that
accent.
guy sometimes gets in the car which is parked right beside him. And if he does,
Like when I'm
he
talking to
starts chasing
my
you.
Persian
So all
friend.
we have to do is head
He
back
goes,
down
"Hello,
and drive
how are you, my
underneath the
friend?"
spot where Kenji is standing, which will
Yes,
trick
that's
the guy
good,
in the
that's
car
good.
into accidentally killing Kenji for us. It took a few tries, but eventually the stars aligned once more. Bingo! And you learn something new every day. And that day I learned that if Kenji is the only one who dies there, you don't get a wanted level. Oh dear, so it wasn't the cartel who killed Kenji. The next mission, a drop in the ocean, only involves collecting packages and evading the long arm of the law. Grand Theft Aero, on the other hand, does involve killing. At the airport, you must kill 4 enemies in the hangar in order
King
to move on to
Farcook.
the next part of the mission. To make these guys follow you out of the hangar, use a bulletproof
I'm a
unit
bit like
very
that too,
quickly
yeah,
flying
right.
in an anti-clockwise direction around the plane and then out of the hangar. You must be quick. If you're too slow, the cartel will just stay in the hangar, and or the plane will get destroyed by the prick with the massively overpowered M16. Now all you have to do is slowly but surely lure all 4 of them into the water. Luring members of the cartel away. Have I done this before? I can't remember.
I didn't know there was a place
At one
right
point,
there.
a random sentinel just came out of nowhere. I've never seen that before. Eventually, the cartel quartet were in the drink. Wow, Davy Jones's locker is pretty popular today. So, those four are the only people who have to die in this mission. You don't have to kill anybody at the construction site. Just use the cartel cruiser to get on top of the hut, then jump over the wall and run straight to the elevator. Just make sure you have enough health and armor before doing this, otherwise the enemy closest to the elevator might kill you before you regain control of Claude. Once gameplay resumes,
Yeah,
all the
I've
cartel
played a
will
couple of Need
automatically
for
die,
Speed
so
games.
just cruise your way back down to the end of the
Didn't
mission.
really play them aggressively
Move
though.
on to bait. Now remember what I said earlier about the game thinking it's your fault when a vehicle blows up with people still inside it? Well, that can be a problem during this mission. Your objective is to lure 3 cars into a Yakuza trap in Pipe Creek. Each car contains 4 cartel members. Here's what happened when I lured the first car. One guy successfully got out of the car, but the other 3 weren't so lucky and got obliterated by the Yakuza destroying the car before they could complete the exit vehicle animation, which added 3 kills to the stat. Luckily, the solution is pretty simple. Don't lure the cars too close to the Yakuza. That way, all 4 of them will have a better chance to get out. If you lure them too close to the Yakuza, there'll be too many of them shooting at the car at once. The cartel do sometimes get back in the car, but they will get out again if you simply drive near them. When I lured the 3rd group into the trap, the car stopped right in front of a shotgunner, and at that range it only takes 2 shotgun shots to blow up a vehicle. But very luckily for me, he forgot how to pull the trigger. Now the only downside to not luring the cartel too close is the cartel will be able to kill the Yakuza more easily, and the mission fails if all the Yakuza die. Right here, we had a 1 versus 1 situation, AK-47 versus M16. But thankfully, the cartel guy was more interested in coming after me. Espresso to go is yet another mission involving no killing at all. Just wreck the stalls by ramming them with your vehicle and avoid accidentally hitting the cartel
Yeah,
guys.
Kamegadon was a good game actually.
Thankfully, it wasn't
I
fatal.
liked that game.
No killing necessary during SAM either. Before going to the airport, I had to grab a rocket launcher from Phil's place because my stupid ass forgot to do so at the end of arms shortage. You can ignore what Asuka says about airport security, because driving onto the runway and avoiding the cartel is pretty damn easy. Stu, maybe you're the dunce for forgetting the rocket launcher. Oh, shut up. When you're waiting for the plane to arrive, you'll notice that one of the enemies gets in the cartel cruiser and shows his friend what it's like to kiss the underside of a vehicle before taking a dip. Destroying the plane doesn't add any kills to the stat, simply because the pilot doesn't exist. After evading the boys in blue and getting back to the construction site, I took my cheetah with me to Shoreside Vale for the final story mission, the exchange. Just 1 mission left, folks. At the start, you can just go through the front gate without killing anybody at all. At the dam entrance, just ram the cars out of the way and avoid hitting the cartel by mistake. Now, I chose a different method to get to the roof where Maria is waiting. First, I drove far enough along the dam to make the mission progress properly. Then I got a stinger from Cedar Grove before driving to the bottom of the dam building. With a stinger, you can, believe it or not, just drive up the grey wall between the building and the
I
cliff.
didn't know you could do
In
that.
case you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because the helicopter drops bombs on you, and there are explosive barrels on the dam. So by doing this, I'm preventing the cartel on the dam from getting killed by the barrel explosions, which the game blames the player for, remember? After getting the rocket launcher, I made my way down the stairs to trigger the cutscene. This makes Maria spawn and allows me to bring the helicopter down with a well-placed rocket. being very careful not to accidentally catch the cartel in the blast. And then, once the helicopter is destroyed, the final cutscene will play when you go near Maria. You can skip the credits once the artists' names have appeared. Mission passed. Stu, you don't sound very happy. What's the matter? What's the matter? I'll tell you. That is the matter. But how can that be? When the helicopter blew up, did 2 enemies on the dam get caught in the explosion? Nope, that's not what happened. Okay, so what did happen then? It turns out that whenever you destroy a helicopter in this game, 2 kills are automatically added to the stat. Holy shit. You mean we've made it all the way to the final mission only to find out that this challenge is impossible? You're kidding, Stu.
Should get it on emulator. Yeah.
It's okay, you can
I can
settle
try.
down, because I am kidding. As you know, normally to pass the exchange, you have to rescue Maria and destroy the helicopter. However, it is actually possible to pass the mission without destroying the helicopter. Let me show you how it's done. First, I get myself a fire truck, then I hold down the side mission button, start a rampage, and then get back in the fire truck. This allows me to start Firefighter with a rampage running at the same time, and then cancel Firefighter. Now that the game thinks I'm not on a mission, I can now start the exchange with the rampage still running. After doing that, I get back in the truck and wait for the rampage timer to end. And when it does, I must now keep the side mission button held down again, but for much longer this time. In other words, I'm holding Firefighter. With my finger remaining on the side mission button for now, I start the exchange again, so I now have 2 instances of the same mission running at the same time. After jumping backwards away from the mansion, you will notice that the camera pointed towards the dam, not the sky. The reason that happened is because even though the exchange has been duplicated, only one of Catalina's helicopters can be in the game's memory at any one time. Now I grab a new vehicle and head back to my hideout to pick up my cheetah, which I will definitely need for the next part of my plan. And remember, I must not release the side mission button just yet. The next step is to get to the dam. Now because the exchange has been duplicated, you'll notice that there are more vehicles than usual here. And don't worry, that death right there wasn't caused by me. He blew himself up by shooting the cartel cruiser. Now, here's where the magic starts to happen. I trigger the cutscene, and then when I see Catalina running towards the helicopter, I can finally release the side mission button. If done correctly, Firefighter will get cancelled because I'm not in a fire truck anymore. Now, this will cause 3 other things to happen. 1, the cutscene gets cancelled. 2, the helicopter won't take off. And 3, Maria won't disappear. She stays on the roof. And that is very important for the next part of the plan. I quickly check the stats just to make sure I haven't killed anybody, and I haven't, all according to plan. Now, you may remember that earlier on in this video, I said we'll be doing some more vigilante trickery later on. Well, the time has finally come. I get a cop car, hold down the side mission button again, start another rampage, and then release the button to start and cancel Vigilante, which will, once again, allow me to have 2 missions running at once. Now I have to wait for the rampage timer to end, but before it ends, I start Vigilante again, but don't cancel it. And now that the rampage is over, I'm able to start the exchange for the 3rd time, but with Vigilante running at the same time. Success! Now take a look at the radar. What do you see? That's right, 2 green blips. One of those blips represents the Vigilante criminal, but the other one represents Maria. And how do I know that? Because the blip that represents the altar is brown, not green. And so that means I've done everything right so far. After the short cutscene here, it looks like that green blip has turned brown, but it hasn't, don't worry. The green one is still there. It's just in very close proximity to the brown one. Now it's time to get myself another stinger and do some more fancy wall climbing. And then, after getting out of the car, I approach Maria and mission accomplished. That, everybody, is how to pass the exchange without destroying the helicopter.
Yeah, right.
Now slightly fast forward through the final cutscene and the credits until I've skipped them, and wait for it. So, can you beat GTA 3 without killing anyone? The answer is yeah.
Well, there you
Now,
go.
before I end the video, I'll to explain what happened during the exchange. In this game, when you fail a mission, the game runs a cleanup script which gets rid of all the mission-related stuff, like characters and vehicles. But, luckily for me, there's only a limited amount of mission-related stuff that the cleanup script can remove at once. And if there's too much stuff, then that means not everything will get removed by the script. And that's exactly why I duplicated the exchange, to deliberately increase the amount of stuff. And it just so happens that when Maria spawns, there's too much stuff, so the cleanup script won't get rid of her. And that's why she's still on the roof during my run. However, because of the way the exchange is coded, failing the mission normally will get rid of Maria anyway, so that's why we have to abort the mission abruptly by holding Firefighter and then cancelling it during the Get This Thing Airborne cutscene. Doing that doesn't get rid of Maria. And by the way, it's worth mentioning that if you cancel Firefighter at any other point in the mission, the game will crash. Now for the part where I started the exchange for the third time with Vigilante running. Why does that, at that point, allow you to save Maria right from the start? Well, according to the YouTuber Zazaza691, or Vofel, when you combine different missions, you end up getting 2 instances of the last mission that you started. In this case, 2 instances of the exchange, which can cause some interesting effects, like instant
I was in the
and
wall.
partial skips. Again, I'll
Interesting.
put the link to his series of videos in the description. But the bottom line is, if you do everything that I did during my run, you can complete the exchange without killing anybody. And that, everybody, is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Again, I'll put the link to the full run in the description. Thank you so much for watching, stay solid, and don't let the exchange bite.
See if he's made any other videos. Okay. Nothing yet. Alright. See what else we can see. Yeah, right. Well, it looks like Nick and Kel won $1,000 by the looks of it. Let's watch. Oh, it's Aaron's bonus, so it's not actually them that won. Right. Okay. Boring. I only watch them if they actually win one, not just fucking record somebody else's bonus. Let's see what else there is. Oh. My dogs. Let's see what my mother's fucking uploaded. Oh god.
Give me pats, give me love, and give me all the attentions. Don't give the pats to Mrs. Bananas. Give them all to me.
What the fuck? Really? What was that? That was my mother posting her chihuahuas. Oh, cutie. Mrs. Bananas doesn't need them. Lucy needs them. Oh, I gotta watch it again because that was kind of cute.
I'm Lucy the Chihuahua, and I'm taking out those pats 2026. Give me pats, give me love, and give me all the attentions. Don't give the pats to Mrs. Bananas. Give them all to me.
Oh god. Oh well, that was Jesus. I'll have to talk to her about that tomorrow. Alright. Yeah, she does YouTube as well. Mainly scuba diving stuff. That's why I said she fucking stalks my YouTube. She doesn't like me uploading my fucking pokey adventures because she thinks that excuse me. She thinks that I'm gonna waste all my money and lose my fucking home and shit like that. So, and that's another reason why I gave it up. But I haven't given it up completely. Massive win? Bullshit. That wasn't a massive win. There's nothing on fucking YouTube. NG Slots, he's a fucking scammer. Yeah, it's like that, hey. Sometimes something just doesn't pique my interest. Just like that. I don't know, do you cunts want to watch a TAS or something? Nothing. God. Absolutely nothing. Alright. No, not Tasmania, Australia. How did I fucking figure that? And what's this? Oh, it's a reaction video, hey? There. Maybe. Seen the Half-Life test already. Glitch Fest, hey? Yeah. Maybe, yeah. Oh, Portal TAS. Portal TAS. That sounds interesting. Haven't seen a Portal TAS ever. Let's have a look at this. Oh my god. A 3-hour video explaining what the uses are in the TAS. Maybe. Come on. Yeah, fair enough. What the fuck? it?
You can create your own portals. These interdimensional gates have proven to be completely safe. The device, however, has not. Do not touch the operation. As part of a required test protocol, our previous statement suggesting that we would not monitor this chamber was an outright fabrication. Good job. As part of a required test protocol, we will stop enhancing the truth in 3, 2, welcome to test chamber 4. You're doing quite well.
What the fuck?
Safety is one of many enrichment center goals. The Aperture Science High Energy pellet seen to the left of the chamber. Please note that we have added a consequence for failure. Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck. The enrichment center
Portal, but
this next test is
it's
impossible.
just doing my head in. I
To solve it.
can't even fucking comprehend what's going on. What the fuck?
Hello again. To reiterate, previous slide. The device has been modified so that it can now manufacture two linked portals at once. As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact. To ensure the safe performance of all authorized activities, do not destroy vital testing apparatus. As
What?
part of a previously mentioned required test protocol, we can no longer lie to you.
Oh god, this is so confusing.
For your own safety, do not destroy vital testing
It's tripping me
apparatus.
out. Yeah, I know. It's tripping me out too. I'm so confused.
Well done. Be advised that the next test requires exposure to uninsulated electrical parts that may be dangerous under certain conditions. For more information, please attend an Enrichment Center Electrical Safety Seminar.
What the fuck?
And we'll just call it going to have are you deployed?
You think you're doing some damage? 2 plus 2 is...
Oh, they're drawing a foot. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can see that fucking the things decide to slow down. So let me just quit Opera and then I'll come back. That should be better. That's better. All right. You don't use Chrome? I used to, but then I found that Opera or Opera or whatever you want to call it. It's that speedrunning cunt fucking Linkus got me onto it. And it's pretty much like a gamer's desktop thing, and plus it's got ad blocker on it, so you don't have to fucking deal with YouTube ads. It's nice. What's this? A Mirror's Edge tax. Well, this looks cool. Let's have a look at this. Mirror's Edge tax. And it's the year of tasses, I reckon. 2026. I'm interested in this. 15 minutes and 44 seconds, eh? Nice. It's possible perfect imports no mods we use made by Tacos and Rack. I know these cunts. I use the app, yeah, right. I use the app as well, and I pay for YouTube Premium, but yeah. I got enough out of it. I can't stand watching ads on YouTube. I enjoyed when they first released YouTube that you didn't have to deal with ads. And then when they started putting ads in your videos and stuff like that, I just went, fuck that. And then I discovered the world of adblock, and then I used that for a few years, and then when there's YouTube Premium and put a subscription on it, I was just like, oh, fuck them. And then they made some perks for using YouTube Premium, and I was like, alright, okay. I'm happy paying $16 a month. And I found out that when you pay through the app on the YouTube, you pay about 30% more, I think. So instead of being $16 a month, it ended up being $22 a month. Ooh, out of bounds. And so I know, fuck them, so now at the moment I'm using a hack or a workaround to pay for YouTube Premium for nothing, and then until that runs out, then I guess I have to keep hacking my YouTube to be able to pay for YouTube Premium. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just start paying money again. I reckon what we'll do is after this video we'll work on Disruptor again. I might give the iOS mines another shot. It's $9.90 at first. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Now it went up. And now they've got YouTube Premium Lite and YouTube Premium Full. And it's like YouTube Premium Lite, limited ad rolls. I tried YouTube Premium Lite and it's still the same amount of ad rolls. So it's like not even worth buying YouTube Premium Lite. What's Lite worth? I think it's like $10 or something like that. But you get no other perks with it. In fact, I'll go through it actually. I'll show you guys. Don't forget to side jump cancel, side jump dash spin on the next part. Thank you, but I hope the task does this. Because you should know that's just a YouTube video. We're not actually playing. First day of autumn tomorrow, hey? Oh, that's alright. Why can't I see other comments? I'm not sure, Dave. I'm not sure why. What's going on, Nick Katz? How are you, my friend? What's going on, boys and girls? How much longer have I got on this? I don't know. Not too much longer. Interesting. Have you updated your YouTube app?